Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So I wanted to give you an update today on what's happening with the new cottage garden area that I was setting up in the yard. In the previous videos, if you've been following, I provided a landscape design for kind of where I was going with this raised bed area. And then in another video, I showed taking down 5 trees. So we got those down, but we had one tree left to take down, which I did not video because I was involved in taking it down. And it was more of a challenge. So we came back and did that because I had some issues with the tree company I hired to come and do it, who cut halfway through the tree and just left it. So it was a hazard. And it was a double trunk tree. So just a bit of a history on double trunk trees. They're beautiful. I hear other garden channels say how great it is to have multiple trunk trees, and they're fabulous and they're so beautiful in the landscape. They are beautiful, but they can be a problem, and you're gonna see why. So anyhow, I wanted to give you this update on this, and so this is where things stand. All the trees are now down for the cottage garden area. So tomorrow, we're gonna grind these stumps, and then the stumps are gone, and then I'll have to clear out the mulch, bring in dirt over here, and start building up the edge here. There is a fencing situation here that we have to deal with. We own the fence, so that's not a problem, but just finding time to get stuff done for Rob, because he'll be building a new fence in here, I hope this year. It's kind of in the plans that we're gonna do something with it. But anyhow, let me stay focused here. So that's the plan for tomorrow. We got to get these grinded down before we can do anything else. I have been starting to move gravel. Okay, so I'm putting crushed rock in this area right up to where these two pots are here along the fence. They're kind of my markers right now, but we're going to mark it out better, probably with string and stuff like that, just to get it, make sure we got it right. But it's going to be rock in there, and then I'm going to follow the rest of the landscape design as much as I can, and we're going to design the whole area. But we have some things to attend to. So let me talk about this whole multi-trunk tree thing that everybody thinks is so great, or certain garden channels brag about, that multi-trunk trees are fabulous, and they are. They're beautiful. However, they're a problem. So anyhow, that was a tree we had trouble taking down, was a multi-trunk tree. It had two trunks on it. So the tree company came, and I'm not going to name them, of course, and they were one I'd used before, but they were in transition to some different buyers, and they really didn't have the qualified staff to do it, and they were training a bunch of newbies. So they came here and they cut into the tree, and I was just listening to the talk and everything. I was feeling quite nervous about it, and they cut into it, and then they said, we have to leave. Our chainsaw is dull, it can't cut through. So they had cut through so far. You can see it here. This is where they cut through, here and over here. And they just left it partially cut through. And they didn't do a 70-degree angle. They kind of went straight in. For this person being an experienced cutter, that's not accurate, okay? All you have to do is watch a whole bunch of videos, and everybody does the same thing. They cut in at a certain angle, then they come and they cut in straight again and meet up with that angle, take that piece, knock the piece out, and then come in from the back end and do it. So that was a problem. So they left. And then they phoned me probably an hour after and said, yeah, we're not coming back. We can't do the job. Well, anyhow, they went on to do another job, which was cutting tree branches that were overhanging a house, and one of them fell off the damn house. So yeah, that really instilled a lot of confidence in me when the one called me back and told me like what happened, and that she was quitting the team, and she was the one supposed to be doing all the cutting and have the experience. So they left me high and dry with no one. So Stephen came back, and we decided to tackle it ourselves and give it another go, and we really staked this thing out. We tied it down good, and him and I were on each side, and we made sure we had a good grip on it. Well, when the tree came down, because it's a multi-trunk tree, it split. So, and they had cut in further than what they had realized they had cut into. So technically, we've had a lot of storms. So if a storm would have came, part of the tree, this side here, would have went that way toward the house. And it was a big tree, like it was tall. And then the other half would have went this way toward the gazebo. right there. So it was not good. So anyhow, when we took it down, the damn thing split. So we managed to keep it under control, and we got it down without hitting anything, thank God. Little did we know what was going on inside of this tree. When we took it down, I looked at the end, and we've removed the trunks, the trunks now. The branches and everything are all gone. We cleaned up. But there was ants all over it. And you can see here, looking at this tree, there was this big crevice starting. Now, a lot of times trees will get this and they'll heal themselves and it's fine. This one wasn't doing that. And if you just look here, you can see what's going on here. You can see changes happening along the edge here. This is where it went when we cut it. It was going in here. Look at the rots in there. But look at what was happening inside. And that crevice goes that way. So this tree was rotting on the inside without us knowing. And you can see where the multi-trunk is. Right here. Coming through. So we had a big issue on our hands not knowing what was going on inside of this tree. So them leaving me without taking this tree down was a super duper hazard and a real risk. Thank goodness Stephen came. We took a chance. We crossed our fingers that between him and I, we could take this thing down, and we got her down safely. And you know, I think I was like crossing my fingers and toes and everything when we did this, and I had a damn good grip on that side of the tree that I was responsible for, and he had his side, plus we had rebar and had tied it and staked it in too to try to prevent it from going a direction we didn't want. So anyhow, the tree was rotting out from the inside as well, and they left me like that. So that's the scoop. So anyhow, these are all going to be grinded out. The plan is for tomorrow, if my person comes, to grind them out. So we'll cross our finger he does. And then once that happens, I got to clean up all the shavings because I don't want the wood shavings from these trees, because they seem to be bringing more ticks to the yard, the natural mulch. If it was cedar, it'd be fine, but it's natural and they don't like it. So I'm probably going to get that given away and that. And then I'm going to start working on this area, which is bringing in dirt and starting to build it up to plant. And I'm hoping to do Saskatoons in here, you guys, but I'm probably going to do them from cuttings is the plan. So, but the cuttings will go directly into the ground with root starter. So you'll get to see that. And that's the first phase of this project, is getting this cleaned up and getting it going and getting those started, because it'll take quite a while for the bushes to grow. And then we're gonna move on to the next phase, which is preparing the site and getting all the rock and gravel laid in here and starting to build the beds. For those of you that maybe didn't see that video or have my new subscribers, if you haven't seen any of that, so you kind of get up to speed on where we're going with this. Because right now all it looks like is grass and trees and, well, more grass. But I'm hoping it's going to be beautiful in the end, but it's taking time to develop. And I work full time, if many of you don't know that. Rob works full time, so we're doing this in our spare time, trying to get stuff done, keep the channel going, build the channel, and build the garden up and make it a really beautiful cottage place. That's my goal. You know, lots of color and roses, and, you know, to be a little more self-sufficient, not completely, but to be some with some fresh vegetables and stuff and everything, and be able to, you know, reduce our grocery costs and everything, and live off the garden a little bit more. But this year is not the year for living off the garden, I'll be honest. I mean, unless I'm going to eat grass, because that's what I got right now. But that's the plan for this area. That's where we're going. And in the long run, it's going to be gorgeous. So if you want to stick with me on this journey, even though you're not seeing a lot of action right now, you will see this area develop step by step, because we do everything mostly ourselves. There'll be the odd thing that we contract out and get other people to do, but we are do-it-yourselfers 110%, because things are just too expensive and I can't afford to hire contractors for every little thing. My channel isn't making any money or anything to do that. I do like being involved in it, and so this is the way it goes, and it takes time, because I need my main job to pay for this stuff. So that's what we're doing, and that is the plan. What that kind of looked like. It's not a perfect design, okay? I put it together real fast, but you'll get the gist of where I'm going with this and what my hopes are. And the first thing I'm gonna do is take the take the dirt out of that bed and move it and get rid of that bed, because I have other plans for what I want to do there for development probably next year, because time is going by and we have other projects we need to get done and some maintenance, and start with that and then move forward to where I want to be this year with this area, because I want it ready to go to grow stuff next year. And if I can throw the odd thing in here this year and we make good progress, great. If I can't, well, that's just the way it goes, right? So that is the scoop on what's going on here. This was a big job. You know, I'm getting too old for this kind of work, I'll be honest. That's hard work, hauling all those logs and cutting them all up and doing all that work. Like, it was brutal. Like, we were hauling logs with ropes and stuff to get out of the yard. We kept them at a certain length because Stephen wants to use them for some of the projects he wanted, but I needed to get them out of the backyard and out of the way for us to grind and do things. So it's been a real challenge. And last night some friends came and they actually carried some of the logs that were sitting right here. This is where a lot of the bigger ones were laying that we still hadn't hauled out, and they took them to use them. And then all the stuff that Stephen wants is still in the front yard and the side yard, which I still want to develop as well. So I'm not even going to show you that, but it's sitting there, and he's going to come and get that stuff too. And then I do have some more trees I'd like to take down. I'm aiming for fall. We'll see how it goes, and he'll get that wood too, and that, because we are going to collaborate and do some projects together and stuff, and some videos, because he's got some really cool plans of what he wants to do, and I want to share that with you, because it's gardening, you know, but it's a different kind of gardening, right? It's becoming self-sufficient and living off your land, and he does a lot of stuff with solar and that, so it'd be kind of cool. So anyhow, that's the scoop. That's what's going on out here in the yard. Not much to see with this video, but I'll post those 2 other videos showing the trees come down again, and I'll show you the picture of the landscape design for those of you that haven't seen it, so you can get an idea of what's ahead this summer in my videos to come, besides flowers and planting and maintenance of garden and divisions and things like that, all the standard stuff. I also need to paint my sheds. We need to fix them and do some rebuilding on them. So there's a pile of stuff on the list. So I'm not planning on taking a lot of time off work, a little bit to do some of this stuff, but it'll be, as time permits, we'll keep working on this stuff, and I'll take you along on the journey. So I hope you don't mind this update, and that it's okay, and that you watch my videos and that, because it helps keep the channel going, and more color coming with more plantings shortly. But this is what I wanted to give you the update on, so you know I haven't forgotten about this, nor have I discontinued the project, because I haven't. It's just waiting on contractors and stuff happening with people, you know, businesses you can't rely on to take it down, and it all just took a lot of time and effort and a lot of labor on the side that you guys don't see, because I mean, I don't show you guys us trying to move these logs and cutting things up and me moving gravel and that. You don't need to see that, right? I want you to see when we're actually making progress in that, and that's just labor, right? That's hard, back-breaking labor that we have to do on the side to get this going. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.